In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to prompt your n8n AI agents. Now, if you guys have ever tried to build an AI agent on n8n or any other sort of AI agent building platform before, you know that you have to define two sorts of prompts. The first prompt is the user message or the user prompt, and really what the user message or user prompt is, it's just the input that goes into the AI agent for that specific run or execution of the AI agent. So when you want to give the AI agent a task, or when you want to call the AI agent to say, hey, can you do this for me or can you do that for me, that goes inside the user message. Now, the second sort of prompt is the system message. The system message is going to be the same regardless of when or which time the AI agent is being used or executed. And what the system message really does is it defines or it tells the AI agent exactly who it is, what it's meant to do, what sort of guidelines it's meant to abide by, what sort of tools it has access to. So imagine you're building an employee. The system message is telling the employee who it is and what it does in the company. And in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to build the perfect system message so that by the end of this video, you can build AI agents that actually work. Now, in order to achieve this, first, I'm going to outline the major components of a good system message. Then I'll go over what each of them are and when you should include them. And then at the end, I'll even give you some tips and tricks that will help you in creating the perfect system message. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I've broken down the perfect system message into 10 different components or 10 different parts: role, context, specific instructions, tools, restrictions, error handling, desired output, behavioral guidelines, examples, and step-by-step process. Now, to be completely frank, you don't need to use all of these 10 parts for every single system message. Honestly, I probably even advise against doing that because the goal of an automation or an AI agentic system is for it to be affordable, right? And if you have a system message that's 15 pages long and it's running 10 times for each execution of the AI agent, obviously your system is going to be very expensive. And in real life sort of practical use cases, that's not very good. So from these 10 components, you should pick and choose which one you think best fits the purpose of your AI agent. Now, I like to recommend everyone use at least the 5 components that I've highlighted in orange: role, context, specific instructions, tools, and examples. Honestly, regardless of what sort of AI agent you're trying to build, you're probably going to need some sort of variation of these 5 components. But with the other ones, you don't necessarily need to use them. But I wanted to have exhausted all the cases so you know exactly what you're meant to be using if you wanted to build a bulletproof AI agentic system, and the pricing wasn't a big consideration. So let's go through each of them one by one. And by the way, don't worry about taking any notes because I'm going to give you guys access to a template with all this information in the description below. All right, let's get back into it. So I wanted to start with probably the most important component of all, the role of the AI agent. Inside this section, you want to give the agent an identity by basically telling it exactly who it is. So for example, if you're building a customer service chatbot, you'll start with saying you are a customer service chatbot. Or if you want to build a travel concierge, you'll say you are a travel concierge. Or if you want to build an AI doctor, you say you are an AI doctor. Basically, it's very simple. Just say you are a blah, 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 defining exactly the title or the role of the AI agent. Now, in the second component of role, you want to give the AI agent its primary goals, or basically just tell it what its purpose is. So for example, you might tell the AI agent that its purpose is to assist users in planning trips and providing them with relevant travel options. Cool, so that was role. Now, the second component of a good system message, which is probably just as important as the first one, is static context. And the reason why we call this context a static is because, as I said before, the system message is going to be the same across every single time the AI agent gets run. Unlike the user message, which is different every single time we call on the AI agent. So the first thing that you want to define inside the static context is the background information. In this subsection, give the AI agent all the necessary information that you think it needs in order to solve tasks. I wouldn't recommend going overboard in the background information or context section. You should probably only put in things that you think actually add value to the AI agent. So paint a picture for the AI agent, but don't go overboard. Now, the second subsection is the domain details. In this part, you want to define the more domain-specific sort of information that the AI agent needs to know, like the frequently asked questions that you think is relevant, the policies, domain constraints, anything that you think that the AI agent should know that's domain-specific for the use case of the AI agent. Like, for example, you might tell it that all the prices are being displayed in USD. That's a piece of context that's pretty relevant for the AI agent to know. Now, the third section is specific instructions or rules. And what this really just means is do's and don'ts, like telling the AI agent that you are allowed to do a certain thing or you're not allowed to do a certain thing. I like to write this section as just a bunch of dot points, and there's no need to go overboard with information. Just tell the AI agent what rules you want it to abide by during runtime. Now, you might confuse specific instructions for the previous section, which was more about context. And honestly, to a certain level, they do have a bit of overlap with each other, but the context section is more so just painting the picture as to the scenario at hand, whereas the rules and specific instructions is more so outlining guidelines for the AI agent to follow. Do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. Now, the next section, which is absolutely vital for the AI agent to be able to work properly, is the tools and capabilities section. So if you're giving your AI agent the ability to act by defining some tools that it has access to, then in this section, you have to tell the AI agent exactly what those tools are and exactly how and when it should be using them. So you should look at your workflow, see what tools there are, then clearly define what those tools do and tell the AI agent how and when it's meant to use them. Now, the next section is restrictions. And to be completely frank, this section isn't absolutely vital towards the functionality of your AI agent, but it is best practice to put it in there, especially if you guys are building projects that are going to be used inside real business scenarios. The first set of constraints that you want to define are going to be the ethical and safety constraints. In this part, you just want to make the model safe and ensure that it abides by ethical guidelines. Like, you might tell the AI agent that it should never provide illegal instructions or content that promotes harm. And yes, honestly, it sounds like it's something that the model should know already, but if you guys are building real AI agentic systems, I would still recommend having it there because you're better safe than sorry, right? Now, the second set of restrictions are just to make the outputs of the model a little bit better. These are more around hallucination and accuracy. So for example, in this part, you'd probably tell the AI agent to never hallucinate. Or you might tell the AI agent to never assume anything and always ask clarifying questions if it has any sort of doubt about anything. The next section is around error handling. Now, honestly, there's a very high likelihood that some of the times you want to use the AI agent, there's going to be some sort of error there. Maybe there's not enough information for the AI agent to be able to complete the task, or maybe one of the APIs that it's trying to use isn't working properly. In this part of the system message, you want to tell the AI agent how it should act if it does ever get to any sort of errors. So instead of the model being like, oh shit, there's an error, I don't know what the hell I'm meant to do, it goes, oh, okay, well, this error, Kia said to do this thing or output this thing. And so on the user end, you're going to be able to debug it a little bit easier because you know exactly what the error is. Yet again, not a section that's absolutely vital, but it probably is best practice. All right, so I just switched back to PowerPoint format because it's a little bit easier to follow. The next part of a good system message is the part where you outline the desired output format. So basically just defining exactly what sort of formatting the AI agent should follow for its outputs. The next part is where you outline the style and behavior guidelines of the AI agent. This is more for AI agents that are doing, I don't know, copywriting tasks like, I don't know, writing emails or newsletters or chatbots or that sort of stuff. So where the AI agent's main sort of functionality lies around it writing text or creating some sort of textual output. In this section, you want to define the tone, the language, and the style. Like, for example, telling the AI agent that it should use language relevant for year 3 reading level, or telling the AI agent that it should have a friendly professional tone, or telling it that it should follow the brand style when it comes to writing, and then just defining what the brand style is underneath. Now, the next part's also pretty important. It's the examples or scenarios section. In this part, you just want to give the model examples or scenarios of inputs and outputs of sort of what was the objective of the task and what the output of the model was, so that the model knows, okay, well, in this objective, this is what's meant to happen, and in this objective, this is what's meant to happen. And in this section, you kind of want to focus on giving the common scenario and also the edge cases as well. Because if you want to get a model that's going to be super accurate, you want to tell it kind of exactly what it's meant to do in the edge cases. Because honestly, with the current AI capabilities, you probably can't trust a fully autonomous agentic system to sit there and just decide what it's going to do in a scenario that's never been defined before. So I would probably recommend trying to give it examples of both common scenarios and edge cases. And the last part is where you define exactly the step-by-step procedure that it should follow in order to complete the objective that it will be given. Now, I didn't really like having to put this one in because, as you guys know, the whole point of an AI agentic system is to be able to solve dynamic tasks by creating its own workflow in real time and executing on it. So having to tell the AI agent exactly what it's meant to do step by step in order to achieve its objective takes it away from being an actual AI agentic system and makes it more of a rule-based automation. But to be completely frank with you, the current capabilities of AI agentic systems isn't to a point where you can give it full autonomy to solve complex tasks by creating its own dynamic workflows in real time. Although I do think that technology is going to come very soon, it's just not here at the moment. So for the purpose of people watching this video in January 2025, I would probably recommend defining what the AI agent should do step by step, because by doing this, you're going to increase its accuracy by quite a fair bit. But yet again, on the other hand, like if you're going to define exactly what the AI agent should do step by step, you're better off just building a rule-based automation without the AI agent inside it. Like, I don't know, on make.com or even on n8n, but just not with an AI agent module. It's going to be much cheaper that way. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain, but it's absolutely storming here in Sydney. It was like 43 degrees, honestly, like 2 hours ago. So I have no clue what's going on. Cool. And that was the 10 components of a good system message for an AI agent that actually works. But before I let you go, I'm going to quickly give you some tips on how you should be writing these system messages. The first tip is to be direct and unambiguous. The model isn't some spiritual thing that knows everything about everything. If you don't tell it exactly what you mean, it's going to have no freaking clue. So don't be ambiguous, and also be direct, and also be concise. Don't over explain things and give it unnecessary fluff. Not only it's going to make running the AI agent more expensive, but it's also going to confuse the AI agent. So be direct, be unambiguous, and also be concise. That's the first one. The second one is to front load the key information, or basically just put the more important information at the top. And that's why I started by explaining the role and the context before getting into the restrictions and the other less important parts. So the next tip is just to use structured sections. And basically what I mean here is just to use labeled headings and just use nice formatting so that it's easy for the AI agent to know exactly what the hell you wrote down. And the last tip, which is probably the most important tip, is to balance context and brevity. So in simple terms, give the AI agent enough information for it to operate at peak performance, but don't give it too much information that's going to make it confused and very expensive. So don't over blurb bullshit information that the AI agent doesn't need to know, but also don't leave out important information that's going to increase the accuracy of the AI agent. And I know it's a little bit complex sometimes to think of what's important and what's not, but how I generally like to think of it is, if I had an actual employee or an actual staff member that was a blank canvas and didn't know anything, what would I need to tell it in order for it to be able to perform its role or perform its task or perform its duties? If I think a certain bit of information is relevant for him or her, I will also give that to the AI agent. If I think something is not super relevant, I'll probably just leave it out. But I'll leave this part up to your own judgment. Cool, so this was system prompts for building effective AI agents in n8n. Don't forget that I've left a template in the description below. And if you guys found this video useful, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe, and also leave a comment down below as to what you guys want me to talk about next. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.